Here's another video that I think this started going viral because it provides important context. And then we'll go through the actual video from Minnesota. This is a woman who was killed in Baltimore. 1 second. She's standing in front of the vehicle. At 3 seconds, the vehicle accelerates. At 4 seconds, she's dead. What should she have done?
This is a different scenario. This was in a cul-de-sac. She was backed into a corner. She had nowhere to go.
No. She's not. She could walk away from that car right now.
But the car, like she is facing, like that car could not reverse.
No. Hold on.
Wait, are we not in a cul-de-sac here or not?
So it is a cul-de-sac, it appears,
Okay.
but the exit is behind her. Egress is behind her. She's standing to the left side of the front of the vehicle. She could take 2 steps to her right now, to clear herself from this vehicle, knowing a suspect is in it, and she's got her weapon aimed at him. Now, she's dead, and people are highlighting this, saying, when you're an officer tasked with stopping somebody who's committed crime, presumably the obstruction committed by, and I say presumably because there's no trial for this, Renee Good, this is felony obstruction of a federal law, 8 U.S.C. 1357. So when they say, we're going to stop you and arrest you, and you decide to accelerate, the question is, if you find yourself in front of the vehicle, should you let the perpetrator escape, or is the law enforcement duty to tell them to stop and brandish a weapon?
The policy within the Department of Justice and DHS is that you don't stand in front of a vehicle and put yourself in that situation. You don't create the problem. Now here, I believe this guy had already committed a crime, right? Is different?
Well, the woman already committed
This
a
is
crime
state.
too.
Well, but this is different.
Renee
This is a
Good
different
did commit a
context.
crime.
What was her crime?
8 U.S.C. 1357, obstruction of federal law enforcement, for which ICE does have the authority to arrest her.
Because
I'm not saying she was proven to have committed a crime, but there's probable cause on the law enforcement's part when witnesses on the scene said she was leading the protest to block ICE vehicles. That's a witness statement, and I know it's hearsay, but she went on to say, additionally, someone told me that she actually was doing it. So she said, I was here, this is what she was doing. So if 3 cops say, out of the vehicle, and you immediately begin to accelerate.
Well, witnesses have said that there were conflicting orders. One said, get the F out of the vehicle, and the other one said, get out of here.
I saw that as well. There were, like multiple eyewitnesses were saying that it was unclear whether or not she was trying to comply with one instruction or the other. I also don't think that just the mere acceleration of a vehicle is enough to justify use of deadly force in every single instance. I think it needs to be reasonable from the officer's perspective that not only was the vehicle accelerating, but it was accelerating towards them,
right?
And that their life was truly in imminent danger.
But I think
this woman, Amy
Caprio,
Caprio, is dead in 1 second. It's on the video. It's from 3 to 4. She's dead. So the moment you hear the engine rev, before you can do anything, you are dead.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying I actually don't think this cop should have shot her. However, it's easy to be looking at 3 different angles in slow motion and say he probably could have just spun out and taken a minor injury.
Like you don't know what's going through his head, and also that's the legal point too, because not only do you have to go through all the legal barriers that you mentioned, Dave, but you also have to just prove that it's beyond a reasonable doubt from his point of view, right?
So let me ask you, because we've done an analysis on this video 1,000,001 times right now. There's a few things to break down. The New York Times and liberals have argued the vehicle did not aim at him. In fact, the officer stepped in front of the vehicle, and they've asked, why did he step in front of the vehicle? However, people on the right have argued the vehicle reverses and lines up with him. Actually, I think it's fair to say both are occurring. The DHS officer is standing to the front right side of the vehicle, and he takes a step to his left as the vehicle reverses. The pan of the camera makes both look a bit more exaggerated, but from the new angle we've seen from CNN, he's not in front of the vehicle, but he is taking a step to his right as the vehicle is reversing and turning to its right, creating this lineup. Now, here's where I see the most important part. As we move forward, we can see, watch the wheels tilted to the left, not to the right. And you can then see the wheel spin out. See the wheel spinning out?
Yes.
That is acceleration into the officer. However, due to what appears to be ice on the ground, I can only assume, it spins and doesn't gain traction. There's 2 assumptions. Due to ice being on the ground, it spun out and she released the accelerator, or the ECS system, the electronic stability control, stops the wheel from spinning the moment it spins out. So this is something we've had for 20 plus years. After the wheel, which is aimed at him, spins out, which means he heard the engine go boom, he then pulls his gun. The vehicle right now, you can see the wheel is beginning to tilt, is still going forward.
Yes.
He then points the gun at her. and steps to his right.
He still hasn't turned.
And now she's turning. Right? This is the point. The gun is aimed at her. The vehicle begins its turn. Now, the important thing is you can see the officer's leg right here. Watch his feet slide. His feet slide, okay? He's not taking a step. He's sliding backwards. That's because the vehicle is pressing on him. The vehicle has made contact with his body. He is now being pushed back. And once that happens, he fires the first shot. The vehicle then continues a rightward turn. I believe that indicates she is actively conscious. Otherwise, it would have gone straight. It's the 2 subsequent shots after the fact,
Right.
which is...
Those are more problematic.
Which are more problematic, where she dies. She is actively turning right now. Presumably the first shot did not kill her. It's the other shots that
Where do you
take her
see
life.
the other 2 shots?
Let's well, can we get the audio fixed? Because the audio is not properly... it's not playing for the show. So no one can hear the bangs.
Oh.
All right, let me try something. Let me try and, is it that? I think that'll do it. Let's see if that did it. There we go. First shot after he got hit, as he's getting hit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially that
through the
third
window.
shot.
Right there,
that
right there.
third shot.
That's a problem, right?
That's insane, that third shot.
But now the question becomes, all of this, we can see this whole thing was like 7 seconds, but this is, I believe, 8x slow-mo.
Yeah.
The whole thing took 1 second.
Yep.
Right.
That's
a good point.
Again, I think here's someone who's presumably committed a felony. Again, 8 U.S.C. 1357, obstruction of federal law enforcement, for which they have told her to get out, and the officer is trying to pull her out of her vehicle, but she is attempting to evade arrest and actively driving. There is an officer in front of her, and she accelerates right here. That wheel spins. I think right there, that clears him of any charges.
Well, the question is, as Aaron brought up, did the witnesses say that they heard the officer, a different officer, say, "Get out of here"? And so that's why she's trying to get out of here.
I believe he said, get out, while others get the F out of the car.
We heard that on that video, yes. But the witnesses say there was conflicting orders from the officers.
Come on. Is that material when you have an officer in front of you, an officer grabbing your door saying, get the F out of the car, and you're accelerating, even in reverse?
Well, if another officer's yelling, "Get out of here," and so she's like, "I'm going to get out of here." And also, even if she is trying to flee, you don't shoot to kill someone who's trying to flee. That's against policy.
Do
That's
they
also
wear
not
body
correct.
cams?
That's not correct.
Unless that person poses a significant
Exactly.
threat to someone's life.
So we know that there are other people standing in the street and she's speeding off. One could easily make the argument, it's really about convincing a jury. Did the officer fear for his life? I think it's fair to say this officer, who had previously been dragged 330 feet 6 months ago and had to get 33 stitches, now standing in front of a vehicle, all within about a fraction of a second. I don't think he walked in front of the car thinking, I'm going to create danger. But that tire spins out. He hears the engine rev when that happens. It's pointed right at him. He's got past trauma related to an attack, and now he's thinking right here, she's going to kill me. The vehicle is not turning as it goes forward. It hits him. He shoots.
But it hits
Now-
the other guy, right? Or him? Who's it hit?
It hits her.
There's a guy in front. Isn't that who he hits?
No, the shot goes through the windshield.
Right, but the shooter is
The shooter gets hit.
the shooter is the
The
one.
shooter is the one getting hit.
Right.
You can see, like,
It's
and
the front
also,
guy, not this guy. It's the front guy, right?
Yeah, the front
in
guy. Look at his legs;
Right.
they slide backwards. He's being hit by the car. I don't think he's being grievously injured or anything like that. But this is arguably hindsight being 20/20. In a fraction of a second, seeing this happen, how is anyone going to be like, let me freeze time and process what this woman is doing, what her intentions are? All he hears is an engine rev with the vehicle moving towards him. Right now, it's going straight towards him. Okay, the wheels spin out with it aimed at him. Right. I think you show that to a jury and you say, she is believed to have committed felony obstruction. She is ordered out of her vehicle. The cop has his hand in the vehicle, likely on the steering wheel, maybe not. His hand on the door. She's locked it, and she is attempting to evade arrest. She then accelerates towards the officer with a tire spinning on the ice. Clearly, the officer heard the acceleration. I think it's reasonable to assume he fears for his safety. He does make an attempt to get out of the way. You can see he slides, but not fast enough. Perhaps because of the ice on the ground, he can't get good traction to jump out of the way. So the only move he has is to stop her, of which it is also his duty to stop someone fleeing a felony. And she hits him, and he shoots. Now the question after this is, in the second afterwards, when he fires 2 additional shots, does it even matter? Because you'll argue those shots are problematic because he's cleared, but it's 1 second. He's going bang, bang, bang.
Right.
The other question is, there is a woman standing to the right of the vehicle, and there are other people down the street. Could this officer just say, as she's accelerating into me, I fear that she is going to hit somebody and must be stopped to save the lives of others?
You're not able to guess that she would drive down the street and hit other people. That's not justification. So I think the only excuse here is if the officer thought that his life was in danger, then he is allowed to shoot. The first shot, I think, is going to be very difficult to prosecute. The second and third shots, I think you have a case, but you are exactly saying what the defense lawyers will say. It's all in one motion, 1 second, split-second decisions. You can't be a Monday morning quarterback, which is actually what the Supreme Court has said as well.
Well, but he's also allowed to shoot if he believes other people's lives are at risk.
But that's got to be reasonable, though, right? I mean,
Right, but what I'm
be
trying to
just
say
a
is that
subjective
it
belief.
feels like the legal debate is over because you will not be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he intended to murder her, for a bad reason.